Hey friends, it's Ashley and I'm excited to be a part of the summer scrapping series hosted by my friend Audrey Yeager on the third week of every month during June, July, and August. There's a different YouTuber and Audrey sharing a video, and I am up today. And we're just creating a summer themed layout. I am using the Sunshine and Blue Skies collection from Simple Stories. And I'm also using a cut file from the cut shop. This one will not actually be available in the shop until tomorrow, but I will leave a link to the shop in the description box and also leave a link to Audrey's video for you down there. So make sure you check that out. And I just cut the cut file from white cardstock and I am tracing around the outside edge on the pattern paper that I want to use, and then I'm just going to trim around that. This pattern paper was a little bit tricky because you can see that it's a dark kind of blue color on the side that I wanted to use, but on the back side it's a floral pattern, so it was kind of difficult to see the pencil lines on either side. So I just went ahead and drew it on the front for this one. And I'm going to get that cut out, and then I am going to adhere it with my Scotch Quick Dry in the fine liner bottle that I have. And if I have any excess, I just kind of trim it away. You'll see that sometimes when you do this, it's not an exact science, and you may have some pieces that kind of overlap or go outside the line, so you can just trim that away once you get it adhered. And so I'm just going to do this section here so you can see how I'm doing that, and then I'll finish the other two off camera. I am going to use the kind of pinky diamond shaped pattern paper and also the yellow paper that you see there on the right. So each of the words will be backed with a different pattern paper from the collection. So I'm just going to finish that up, and then I'm going to check and see if I have a few places that need to be trimmed, and of course I did. So I'm just going to go in with my scissors and cut away those little excess pieces. I don't like to have anything overlapping when I use a white background like that because it really stands out. It contrasts, so you want to make sure that you trim all of that away. So I got everything backed, and I'm going to place this on a white cardstock background. And I want to make sure that I get a good bit of adhesive on the back of this because I'm actually going to hand stitch around the outside edge of the title. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of my adhesive on the back of this and then just adhere it straight down to that paper. And you can see I have some embroidery floss there on the side. I used some of the lighter colors from the collection for the embroidery floss. So you'll see me start that in just a second. I did want to go back and add in the inner parts from the O's, especially because this is kind of all about the outline design of the cut file. Normally I would leave those kind of things open, but I wanted to go ahead and get those added back in for the O's. So I'm just going to put those on really quick. And if you cut something like this, it's always a good idea to kind of leave those pieces on your silhouette mat, and then that way you kind of know where they go. If you take them off, everything can kind of get mixed up and you kind of lose where those pieces go back to. So just leave that on your mat until you're ready to use them. So now that I have that last one in place, I am going to grab my little paper piercer here. And a lot of times when I hand stitch like this, I will do kind of more of a border around what the cut file is. This time I'm stitching right exactly up to it because I put this on a white background cardstock and I used white cardstock to cut it from. I wanted a little bit more definition around those letters, so that's why I decided to stitch right up against the cut file. And so this is really easy. You're only going through the one sheet of paper, so it's easy to pierce your holes and to stitch also. So I am going to do the lighter blue with the blue. Both of the yellows match pretty well, the embroidery floss and the pattern paper, and then a little bit lighter pink with that kind of coral pink at the bottom. And like I said, that brings in some of those lighter colors from the collection. And you can see how that got started. It's just a back stitch. And now I have all that stitching done, and you can see a big difference in how it kind of defines the edges of the cut file against that white background, and I really like the way that that looks. So I'm going to add my photo, and I left room at the bottom when I placed my cut file on the paper to add my photo down there at the bottom. And I want to start embellishing. I'm using really just chipboard, some ephemera pieces, and the sticker sheet. I did not have a whole lot of this collection left. I've used it several times, but I actually am able to embellish quite a bit, which is one of my favorite things to do. So I wanted to use this cute little chipboard pineapple border or banner that says summer, and I wanted it by my photo, so I just trimmed that in half so I could put it on both sides of the photo, and I thought that was really cute, and it was kind of the perfect spot for it. And then of course, since I have O's, I have to have something that goes inside of those. I can never resist adding embellishments inside the letter O if I have it on my layout or project. So I grabbed one of the cute little pull ring. This is the flamingo with the girl on it to add there. And I want to give those some dimension, so I just add some foam behind it to pop it up. And then I wanted to use several of the ephemera pieces that I chose from the pack. So I went with the cute little rainbow at the top. And all this is just kind of balancing out the design. Since I have the big title, I have to look for the perfect spots to add the embellishments. So the rainbow and the sun were perfect at the top of the page. And then I also wanted to cover up a little bit of that white space in my photo. So I just used the little phrase that says soaking up the sun. And this photo was from just a beach day back in June, and we had taken our boat out and we're just kind of hanging out in the water. So it was a selfie of me and our oldest daughter, and I thought that was a cute one for this layout. So I am kind of checking out the sticker sheet. I knew I wanted to add some of the phrases, so I'm just kind of seeing which ones of those I want to put around my photo. I really like to layer these phrases always around my photo. I don't know why, they just kind of always look good there, so that's where I always put them. So I was grabbing some varying colors and some varying sizes to go there around the photo, and I liked the way that that looked. And I also wanted to kind of scatter some more of those around the layout, so I added one to the top cluster, and I'll add another one here in just a little bit. I also had this beach ball as one of the chipboard pieces. So I decided to put that there on the left hand side, and my stickiness on the back of those was not too great, so I decided to add some extra adhesive once I put that dimensional foam just to hold that in place. And since I had that cluster going on the left side, I decided to create one on the right side too. And these are kind of like the little umbrella tops that you're looking down on the umbrella, so those are really cute. And then I grabbed the flip-flops too. And I like to add dimension with the dimensional foam in those sticker clusters like that, because I did dimensional foam behind the umbrella, but I added the flip-flops directly to the paper. So it gives just some dimension and interest to your clusters when you're doing those. And these little enamel dots were actually from Pink Fresh Studio, but I thought those would be cute to add into some of those clusters. So I just kind of chose some that kind of match those same colors and use those in those clusters too. And I wanted to add my date, so I just put that there with my Heidi Swap date stamp. And then I decided I needed some flowers. I had used a little flower inside that, the little, what is that thing called? The rescue floaty that I used inside the O. And I didn't really have any other individual ones on the sticker sheet. So I just decided to fussy cut a few from some of the flower stickers on the big sheet so I could add those in. And I'm just kind of placing those in a visual triangle around the layout and just grabbing some of the different colors like the pink, the yellow, and the blue to get those on there. And I thought they kind of really finished off those clusters, and I really liked the way that it just gave that finishing touch to the layout. So you can see my finished layout here at the end and a close-up. If you are new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe, and you can leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching this video. And like I said, I will leave a link to Audrey's video down below in the description box. Make sure you check that out. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.